And, yeah, this is just gonna be awesome. Are we really staring off next to each other? What up? That is how you start a game! Hello and welcome. You are gaming with me, Brothgar, and this is my review here of Loadout. It has finally reached official release, and I'm going to let you know what has changed. Now, if you followed me back in July and May, I actually was doing the beta, and I did around 23 videos of actual beta footage back then, but now the game is out for free to play for anybody who wants to jump into the game. So let's just run into it here and see what Loadout is all about. Alright, so what is Loadout all about? Well, Loadout is an arena-based first-person shooter that is all revolving around your customized weapons. So let's take a look a little bit here at the very beginning of what we can do with the weapons, because that is kind of a key point to what makes this first-person shooter a bit unique here. So I'm going to come over here to the weapon crafting tab, and you can see here I've named a couple of weapons, and right off the bat you can see how many weapon things we can actually unlock here for free. You get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All of these are available as you rank up through the game, which will be covering what you can and cannot buy, but I'll have you know that extra slots are available if you so wish to pay for them, and I'll have you know that the pay scale thing actually works pretty good in this game, but we're going to cover that in a second here. Let me take a look here at this gun. I got Uberbroth here, and I want to customize this weapon, or essentially I'm creating a new weapon. Ultimately, your guns have 4 different types here. You got rifle, launcher, pulse, and beam. And these are all different weapons that do their own kind of unique things and work in their own special ways. Now, how exactly do we kind of customize these weapons? Well, I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say, what kind of stock do I want? Well, I have a standard or dampening that's available to me because I've unlocked that with experience points, which is basically just your in-game currency, which is the blue numbers down there. Now, essentially, as you rank up through the game here, I'm going to just jump over the tech tree because it makes a lot more sense. Alright, so this is the tech tree. Basically, as we run through all our different weapons here on the left, we see the different weapon types. We've got rifle, launcher, pulse, beam, and you actually have equipment as well, which is kind of like grenades or whatever accessory you wish to carry onto the field, which again is kind of in your loadout, which is where everything kind of comes together. I have one loadout slot, and there's those 2 weapons I got, and a turret buddy, which is what I have here. But let's go back to the tech tree real quick here. I was looking at rifles, and let's say I wanted to get pyro. Well, I have to now buy pyro here with my experience points. It's not necessarily experience points. It's kind of like in-game currency you'll earn as you go through a match. You'll get these, you know, your own bucks, and then the in-game currency is called space bucks. But essentially, you can buy any sort of upgrade you want for any weapon by using in-game currency. It is not something you actually purchase with your own money. None of these weapons have that, at least at this tier. I haven't noticed anything that takes the actual like pay to win currency that you can get, but there's all kinds of these upgrades you can get for all your different weapons here, and as you kind of move through them. So I could jump to the quad barrel if I had 1960. If I 1960 in-game currency, I can unlock that barrel, which would open me up to the penta barrel and the hexa barrel, which is just basically more rockets. Now, are they more effective or not? Well, that's kind of when you kind of come back to the weapon crafting, and you kind of got to build your own guns. Not every unlock, not every weapon combination is actually going to work. So customizing this weapon, let's say I want to run down to a pulse. Right, so I got pulses. I'm going to shoot these, basically they're like spiky balls or just like balls of energy, whatever it's going to be here. I'm going to just run the dampening stock. Iron is going to be fine. Actually, you know what, I'll tell you what, maybe I have some in-game currency that I've built up over the time. I'm going to try laser guided system, which basically means when I'm aiming down sight, it's going to follow the laser wherever it goes. And as far as the barrel goes, how about some light assault, trigger full auto? That sounds good. High capacity magazine, or maybe I go shell loading. But what you see down here on the bottom left is the stats. You got like your damage per shot and then your amount of shots per second. So you can kind of work your calculator and figure out what exactly is going to do well and what's not going to do well. Like, you probably wouldn't ever do a high capacity magazine and then come up here and throw on the sniper barrel, because you're just, look, you do 22 damage per shot, but your rate of fire is over a second. So it will take you several seconds just to hit targets enough to kill them. And if you miss a shot, well, now you're like 5-6 seconds into a confrontation with somebody. So how do we actually know that this stuff works? Well, you come on over to the test range. So this is kind of the testing range where you will go around and you will try out your different weapons here. You'll see the NPCs, they spawn in, they're kind of wearing some outfits and whatnot. We're going to be getting into that in just a second, but kind of start testing this stuff up, seeing how well it works, and, you know, maybe get some running targets. You can kind of see how the laser is working. There we go, that's a good shot. See how those balls are kind of spinning around? But maybe you're thinking, I don't know, I don't really like slugs. Maybe I want to roll with Tesla. Oh, okay, we jump on over to Tesla. Now we're shooting electric balls, which actually kind of hit a target and then bounce some splash damage to the neighbors around. Or if you just kind of hit the ground next to them, you'll do kind of minimal damage to people. But it's kind of, you know, it depends on how close and how crazy things get. Because this game and its different arenas will actually get very crazy. You'll have some very intense close battles, which, you know, you can do all kinds of stuff. I mean, movement and mobility is a very key element of this game, especially when you get higher and higher up. People get like jump boots, so you can actually do like big double jumps and whatnot, and you always want to be moving, you always want to be finding cover. So, you know, maybe a weapon that does splash damage is good. You'll see me, I run Motherboard a whole lot, which is actually a rifle gun, but it runs electric bullets, so it kind of, I get some decent splash damage. And I also run that in combination with Boom Broth, which is my rocket launching killing machine. So let's go back. I'm going to show you that real quick here. Yeah, alright. So this thing here is a giant rocket launcher, and it does some pretty significant damage. Now, I could switch weapons, which I can't do right now because I'm in the test arena, so I can only test one weapon at a time. But the point is, for me, I've kind of figured out, okay, a loadout that works for me at this current level is I hit somebody with these big rockets first, and then I'll switch over to machine gun and finish them off in under a second. So I do really good, especially if somebody's not in cover or trying to do any kind of maneuvers to dodge my weapons here, especially this big rocket. All I gotta do is connect with them. But see there, you miss a little bit, only gets 16 damage. So you got to figure out what works for you. Now, maybe I didn't want to do just 16 damage with splash. Well, the heavy barrel for me doesn't actually give me a lot of splash damage. Maybe I flip on over to the tube. And then if I miss a target a little bit, I do more damage, like 27. See? Different things like that. There's a lot of customization that goes into building the right weapon for you. And I haven't really found any particular weapons that are like overpowered as compared to others. They've done a lot of work in trying to make it nice and balanced. So let's go ahead and take a look at Outfitter. This is another key element of the game. I don't really say it's a key element, but I would say it's a big element in the game itself, mostly because a lot of people are going to want to customize their characters. Now this is where it comes in the space bucks, the in-game currency. Now if I want to add a toothpick to my guy, it's going to cost 999 space bucks. Don't ask me how I got 1004. I don't know, it was just there. I guess it was maybe because I was a beta tester. So maybe I come on over here to my shirt and I actually got the beta hood, right? Yeah, that's what I got. That's about the only customization I can get unless I spend a little bit of money. So you can kind of customize your character however you want. Maybe I want to do like a cool black leather type look, or maybe I want to come over to this guy and just like go ridiculous with everything. I mean, there's tons and tons of stuff you can add to your character and make them look however you want, how like good or bad or creepy or whatever you're going for, especially if you're talking about Helga here, which yeah, you know what I mean. It's yep. Moving into the locker, this is where it is your character and your stats. Here you can see I am level 4 and my statistics here, and they just go on and on forever. I got a kill to death ratio of 1.8. It's a relatively competitive game actually. There has been a little bit of problem here in the very early stages that I've noticed a few of us have reported, maybe 1 or 2 people out of several matches doing a little bit of hacking, but I'm sure they'll crack down on that pretty soon. And if you are trying to jump on this game really early, a lot of people are slamming the servers right now, so there has been some connection issues, but it's a great game to come together and play with your friends and have a great time. Now for me, you'll notice that when I play this game, there is not a lot of gore in my videos. That's because I have like certain morals I've placed on my channel, and I don't really if I can avoid this kind of stuff, then I'm going to do it. However, this game has a lot of gore, and there is some some nudity if you kind of get the right attachments for the male characters, and then there's definitely some profanity, but I keep those off. If that's something that interests you, by all means you can leave it on. That's something you have to turn off when you first start the game. So let's move over to the store here real quick and see what Spacebucks is all about. This is the part where your money comes into work. You have the XP boost, which is one of these things that is probably going to be people's first stop for their in-game currency that they've purchased. I'm sorry. The currency that they've purchased is where they're going to spend it here. Now, maybe you want to rank up your character a little bit faster. I'm not particularly sure what the rank does for you at this point. It seems like you can unlock everything you want right off the bat. I mean, maybe you unlock the extra gun slots and stuff like that. But ultimately, though, you have the experience boost. You can get at XP and 699 essentially, and if you want to buy Spacebucks here, 600 is $1, and that number just kind of continues out, but you do save certain percentages as you go. It seems like they just picked some of the, like 600 equals 1, 6 to 1. It's kind of a weird, you know, I mean, you'd think like 1000 equals 1. That would make a pretty good sense, but whatever. So that's it. You can get those nice combos. 16,000. Well, actually, if you do 17,000, you can actually get 30 days combo, and so on and so forth. The in-game currency is a little bit more expensive to unlock. Loadout and gun slots. This is where you get more places where you want gun slots, and gun slots is located back in weapon crafting, in case you've forgotten. So it's these things right here. You can get up to 6 without spending any money on it. However, they're not too terribly expensive. 2,000, so you think maybe $2.50 or so to actually unlock another gun slot, which when you're playing this game and having a whole lot of fun with it, it's definitely worth spending a little bit of money on. Now, you can also get different loadouts and whatnot, which is over here. As you can tell right now, I only have 1 loadout slot, but I can get up to 3 as I rank up through the game. So that's pretty much covers it as far as the in-game currency goes. You can pretty much buy how the way your character looks, the amount of gun slots and loadouts that you have available to you, and then the XP and in-game currency boosts. So those are the only real ways you can spend Spacebucks and buy into this game. One thing I forgot to mention is that you can actually buy a Loadout Steam Launch Starter Pack. Now this will give you 20,000 Spacebucks for 20 bucks, and you're going to get some steampunk goggles, some high-tech harness, and a magazine rig. So this is some decent gear to make yourself look, I don't know, kind of goofy. And you will actually get 20,000 Spacebucks, which is a pretty good deal. Especially when you come on over here and you look at the store and we look at get Spacebucks here. 20,000 is about 4,000 more Spacebucks you get for the same price. Alright, well, now that we understand all the stuff that goes on in the background, let's take a look at the actual important part of this game, which is the gameplay, which is absolutely excellent. So I'm going to come over here to fight, and then I'm going to try to I'm going to do a casual versus humans and see if I can join a match right now. Now, we do have several different types of game modes that are involved in the game. You have extraction, which is basically you run around and you try to pick up these little stone things and then deliver them to spots on the field. Alright, now Death Snatch, which is what I'm playing right now, basically means I'm going to run around and try to kill the enemy, and then when I do so, I have to pick up what is left over, which is a little vial. So that's actually pretty cool, and it's a very fun game mode. Going on after that is Blitz, which you kind of got to go and capture, kind of like King of the Hill, except for the zone keeps moving once you've actually captured the flag. It's very fun, and a lot of people try to fight over certain flags. Now moving on to Jackhammer, which is capture the flag, except for you can fight back with the flag in a very, very big way. And then that all comes to a head in a new game mode, which you've never seen before on my channel, which is called Annihilation. And it's basically a combination of all the different game modes. So you're going to have Death Snatch, you're going to have a spot where you're going to need to capture the flag, and then get the hammer, and then go back and take that hammer, trying to beat up the enemy's base, which has shields, until you complete certain objectives, and it's very cool. It's kind of like Battlefield 2142 back in the day, where you could actually kind of drop the enemy shields, and then you had to complete kind of a destruction mission of their base, which doesn't sound as, you know, it sounds pretty easy, but it could be very hard because it's well defended. Ultimately, though, this game is a whole lot of fun. There's tons and tons of customization, so there's really something for everybody, especially if you want to kind of break down the numbers and build like the perfect gun for you. Not to mention all these different skill-based moves that really let you duck, dive, dodge, and dip and learn maps in very experienced ways and do very well if you are really looking for something that's going to be a competitive game. Alright, so the big question, is this game worth your time? And I'm going to say yes, absolutely. Share it with all your friends, get your friends together, and have a whole lot of fun playing this game. It's free, so I mean, just jump into it. And if you're really enjoying the game, feel free to spend a couple of bucks on it, because these guys have done a very good job developing the game that they have created, so why not support the game itself? If I have any marks on things that I would actually like to see in this game, I would like to see some bigger maps with maybe more people that actually come into the game and different game modes. I'd like to see the game actually grow from where it is, but hey, this is the game we got now, and I'm sure they will continue to add to the game as it develops. So there you have it. That is my review here of this Game Loadout. It's definitely worth playing, especially with your friends. So if you like this video, make sure to hit that like button on the way out. Consider hitting that subscribe button. I do this stuff on a regular basis, and we'll be playing more Loadout in the days to come. As always, guys, stay awesome. Peace. Brothgar out. Saucin'. I tell you what, I don't know. I'm thinking chain gun. Are you feeling the chain gun? Be like Mondo broth. Mondo broth. I like it. Let's see here. Pulse. No. Rifle. Yes. Alright. Bolt action. No. High capacity.